All right, 12 years ago when I got started with John Meadows and doing his programs, one of the cool things and something I look forward to every single week that he sent me the next 2 weeks of training was in the programs were equipment and things that we could really use to take the programming to the next level. So instead of just being like, my gym doesn't have it, this is what I did. No more excuses, let's attack. Let's start with the spider bar. If you've ever seen any of the videos from Elite FTS, those are going to be any of the yoke. If you notice, the big thick camber on this piece, as opposed to a safety squat bar, is going to be about in half. This requires a ton of stabilization, and it absolutely trashes your quads, hamstrings, and glutes. We'll get to what I like to use with that spider bar, but this is a great piece to start. One of my favorite pieces in the collection. Next is going to be this Emax bar. That you've probably seen me use with bands. It is extremely challenging, and what you'll find is if you load 200 pounds on this piece, it feels like you're squatting with 405. So that helps relieve a lot of stress and tension off of my spine, so that's an issue for me. So allows me to squat, but doesn't crush my spine. Next piece, Prowler 2. I got this many years ago to use with clients, but actually I liked it for conditioning purposes as well as for its sensorless back rowing. So to help my back grow, we would do that at the end of a training session. So that's where the TRX you see attached to the front of it, so you can row and then step back. So cool piece there. It's a killer for sprints or conditioning. Great for athletes if you have kids at home. Next piece, the sissy squat. I actually got really lucky and found that on Amazon for like 80 bucks. And I used to store that in the back of my Jeep and just get it out and use it at the gym, no matter what gym I was at or trained at the time. So moving along, all these wonderful chains. This took many months of training clients and just collecting those two at a time, so that I could use them with that spider bar. When I was fortunate enough to get up to S4 and train at Elite, I got the privilege to use it up to 12 chains aside. I have 4, but again, those are 22 pounds a piece. I got all those from Elite FTS. Kind of panning along here, these smaller chains, these I actually got before these easy straps. So what you would do is you would loop that around, create a bar, and then just simply attach those chains to the different lengths. So much more difficult and cumbersome than these easy straps. These are for squats, these are for bench press. Very cool piece there. You can just take the chains, as you can see, and just slap them on, depending upon the height of the chain, so they accumulate and line up on the ground. A few non-sexier pieces here, a weight vest, some ankle weights. That's if you want to do various dips, pull-ups, things like that. These, I'm going to stop and pause here. These are performance pins. Those are great for drop sets, especially for back if you're strapped into a piece. If you want to check me out using those, there's a back video early on that I used those on a seated cable row. That's really cool to use there. A dip belt, pretty standard, old school Arnold for curls. These prime rotate handles, amazing, great for the wrists, great for the hands, single handle. If you've ever done any of John's programs, you know the importance of these next two pieces, fat grips and the grip force. They're a very different feel to give you. That's going to simulate having a fat bar, and this is going to just really crank on your forearms and biceps. The original time I did Creeping Death, that is, every bicep and tricep exercise we use the grip force, so pretty cool there. Next, we have the two varying handles of the grenade handles. Great for rear delts. If you have an athlete and need some grip strengthening, incredible. So there's some cool attachments you don't see at your normal commercial gym. Those are relatively low buy-in. Moving along here, you guys have seen me use the slingshot for working glutes on a glute bridge, so a cool piece there. These right here, these are old school. These are Isolator Fitness. The original time that most of the world got introduced to Dalen Bailey, Seth Feroci, they were using it and marketing those pieces. So really cool for shoulders and rear delts, side laterals. If you don't have a grip strength, if you break your hands, I've used this with clients that had zero hand strength, whether it be from an injury or for physical therapy. Then also like this for bodybuilders as well. Onto some mat grip. That's the supinated narrow. We have an elite FTS handle here. That's varying levels of neutral grip pull downs. So you can do tri-sets of wide, medium, narrow. For T-bar rows, when I used to do those all the time, this is actually tested to 500 pounds, so cool grip there. Knee wraps. Now you're gonna think, oh, I've never seen you wrap your knees. That's right. That's for occlusion training, so for quads and arms. We have the croc locks. That's to put on the any specialty bar. That's just to lock the weights in place because normal clips don't work for them. Next, all the OG Mountain Dogs know, Meadows row handle. Slap on in the bar, do your Meadows row. The secondary piece to that is you can do this with a one-arm barbell row. That's called a suitcase handle. Both of those are from Elite FTS. Those it slides on the end of the bar, and you do your rows. So pretty cool piece there. If you're into heavy chain deadlifts, that just slides on the end of the bar, and then you stack the chains onto that piece there through those big holes. So that way the chains don't accumulate and stack up underneath the plates and then cause an issue with them not being even. All right, next up, cast handles. These are incredible. Unlike most D handles that are gonna be the same size or the same thickness, those actually taper for the ergonomics of your hands. These are great for arms, any type of bicep, tricep training. I like these for chest. If you look also, they come undone, so you attach the cable high. You can do like push downs and things like that on them. Or if you say you wanna do a single handle curl, you would just attach and curl. So pretty cool. The price point on these are very steep, but what you can't see in this video is they're very heavy. That's about 2.5, 3 pounds, and that's pure metal, so that's not gonna break. Next two things here, I'm gonna stand up and walk around, is gonna be the N1 handle by Prime. The cool thing about this piece is that's on a camber in terms of up, you can raise it around and change the grips from supinated to neutral to semi-pronated to all the way pronated and overhand. So that's pretty cool. So unlike having those mag grips where I'd have to buy 4 different pieces, this is gonna be 4 in 1. So that's a medium width, but 4 different attachments of how your hands are gonna go. And then lastly here, the wide grip mag grip, that's enormous. Great for inner back, also some lat width stuff. So I'd use that on a back pump day. And then if you wanna look at the rumble roller, so for recovery, that's what we use. That's Elite FTS, very stiff. That's really good for digging out adhesions if you have a tight spot. Brutal in the IT band. And let's finish up with what I would consider one of the most vital tools in terms of Mountain Dog training, or what he brought to the bodybuilding world, and that's gonna be bands. So if you look from the micro mini, the skinny orange, all the way down to these monster blue ones that are extremely high tension, and then those are all the long ones, and then we have the short ones here at the top. So you can do the deadlifts with this, you can do spider crawls, all types of cool stuff for both progressive overload in terms of minimizing the strength curve or flattening it, however you want to say that. So if you look at this entire collection, this is a part of the puzzle, in my opinion, for having fun with training, progressing, and getting better. Thanks for tagging along, guys.